Hi, I'm Anna Denton-Jones of Refreshing Law Limited, and in today's session I'm going to talk about employers' contribution towards the employees' legal fees around settlement agreements. The convention is that the employer pays a contribution towards the employee's legal costs because in the UK you can only enter into a settlement agreement if you have had advice from a legal advisor and they're able to sign off to say that they've given you that advice. The reason being Parliament was worried about employees perhaps being tricked by employers as to signing away claims when they didn't perhaps understand fully their rights. So once that advice has been given, the advisor is able to sign off on the agreement. Now, the convention has arisen that because the employer wanting the agreement has driven the person into the arms of a lawyer, that they will pay a contribution towards the legal fees of the employee. And this is the $1 million question, because we then get into a debate about how much. Now, if I was to tell you that the going rate back in the days when I first qualified and started training, that's now 25 years ago, the going rate was £250, £350 plus VAT as a contribution. Sadly, I am still seeing employers who think that they can get away with offering that kind of level of contribution 25 years later, when of course, who do you know who's earning the same amount of money that they were 25 years ago, or whose charges haven't increased over that period. So those employers really are having a bit of a laugh. You quite often see £500 as a contribution. That was the going rate, I would say, 15 years ago. Even 10 years ago, you would be struggling at that rate. The Employment Appeal Tribunal has recently commented that £500 just isn't enough to cover all the different aspects of what an employee advisor would have to do. And if I was to tell you that my current charge out rate is £260 plus VAT an hour for individuals, I am struggling to get settlement agreements done for less than £1,000 plus VAT now, primarily because of the number of emails that everybody's sending. There's usually some negotiation over the agreement in some shape or form. There's usually some aspect in which it is not fully formed or fully suitable for the employee when we get it from the employer, as much as they might think it is. And so there is usually some aspect that has to be changed, and there is correspondence about that, and it quite often takes some time for that to be right. The employee needs lots of discussions around what's happened background wise. There are file opening and compliance aspects to the solicitor's work. You know, it's not just a question of reading a document and advising on it. It takes me at least half an hour to get people through sort of standard onboarding processes before I even read anything. So employers, if you're looking at this video, I think you need to be realistic about what you are offering. I certainly wouldn't offer any less than £750 plus VAT now as a contribution towards legal fees. And for anyone who's got any complexity in their settlement agreement, so particularly around things like bonuses, share options, senior people and their contracts and things like restrictive covenants, we're into thousands of pounds worth of legal support. And, you know, it's insulting really to offer people £500 because they're just going to feel that that's a bit of a kick in the teeth on top of everything else and being exited from a business. So often employers will put a low level in knowing they're going to negotiate on that. So if you're the employee, don't be afraid to ask for more. and make that part of the process as well. I hope that's been useful. If you have got any questions, it's adenton@refreshinglawltd.co.uk. Thank you very much.